stuff uploading to my tube. Welcome, Greg. So glad, so glad you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm sorry, my baby. Hoo is pouting because I'm on here and not playing. So welcome everyone. I do have a 13 minute and I think 31 second. It's 1331.1 video that is I had to stop it from uploading because it was interfering with this, but I will have it coming as soon as we get done. And it's just a video of channeled coding from the Seraphim and the Dragon Elohim, the Magdalena and Hathor emissaries of light, and Isis. So I can tell you right now, I don't normally go back and listen to my stuff. It was very interesting how this was provided. It began at the heart, it flowed, and then the third was the crown flowing down. It was beautiful how those energies amazing. So really excited for you guys to experience that one. And thank you for your patience as I move through this. I'm still not at 100%. Yeah, I am technology right now, Mina. Like it's fine on my end, but I also see where like people drop out and now people are joining. So I'm going to ground the energy a bit more. Hello, Becca. Okay, there we go. So I've grounded the energy a bit more. I can't promise that that's going to fix it because energy is pretty intense right now. Like I said, I'm still not at 100% from my quantum shift, but I am doing much better than yesterday. You know, me and Greg were talking and just, I know he was moving through the same thing that I was. The one thing that was happening with this, and I just, before we, as we move into this, because I want to make this, I want to make you aware of this, because I don't know for sure how everyone that's joining is going to move through and into this anchoring. I'm feeling that for some, it will be more intense than others, of course, and that's to be expected. So for me, my body was dumping everything, everything. There was nothing energetically in my cells that were remaining. All of my energy was drained. Anything I drank, anything I ate, I couldn't eat anything. Actually, that's why I didn't really want to eat anything for the few days before, is because my cells were needing to deplete themselves and reconstruct themselves. Because if you're going through a quantum leap, everything is broken down and then it's reconfigured in a higher frequency. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Ant-Man, the Wasp or whatever. I think it's the Wasp, yeah. Where the one of the characters is, she's like a ghost and she's moving in between dimensions, or she's moving in the quantum, and you can see her, but literally she's like transparent in the majority of her. Like you can't physically hold on to her or touch her or hold her hand, because her molecular structure is completely breaking down, reconfiguring. So you can see the molecules doing this the whole time. That's what's actually happening. But by the time we experience it in the physical, time and space have already worked to such a degree that we don't actually see it taking place to that extent, but it is. So it's important that we honor ourselves even more during a quantum leap or a timeline shift. The timeline shift is not going to be as intense. A quantum leap is. But either way it goes, your molecules are rearranging themselves. And if you're wanting to meet yourself in that higher timeline or in a much higher aspect of the quantum, you want to be sure that you are honoring your energy. You guys know I've spoken into this. And right now, what is coming through is this is going to be applicable for everyone at a different point. So for me, the reason why I'm going ahead and bringing it through is because I'm at a place where I need to, but everyone else is going to need it. Those of you guys in my soul group, you guys are coming like right behind me, right? So I lead the way energetically, and you guys flow. I think, Greg is the role that Greg plays, and his role is very integral, like mine, in between the two communities. So Greg is already, pretty much there as well. Um, so either way it goes, though, either way it goes, energetically, what is coming through is necessary. There are also some messages coming through, and these are very intense. They're very much like the ones that I brought through for my container the other day. And it's a recognition from source light and from super consciousness that is being sent to humanity, that is needing to be heard. Because as we move through these waves, like we have the waves of volunteers, but we also have waves of integration, we have waves of activation. And depending on what wave we're in, depends on what we're meant to be doing, how we're meant to be. We honor the energy always, but how? So when you are tapping in and tuning in to what's actually taking place, you're going to know, am I moving through a wave of activation? Am I moving through a wave of integration? And those are going to be the main ones, or a wave of clearing, which is a preparation for activation and integration. So anytime you're moving on a timeline shift, you guys know, right? There's going to be a clearing that takes place. This is the message. And I want to say this before I go into the rest of it. In order for humanity to experience the new earth, they must be accessing an activated and open heart. This is why humanity has been stuck in the cycles of karma, is because they forgot. It was not just the veil of forgetting, it was the lack of desire to honor something other than what is going on up here in these programs, and these consistent programs of design, which are 3D. So most people are so afraid because they don't know what that means. They're afraid they're not going to fit in. And the idea of being different is scary, so much so that people will go back to the cycles of 3D instead of honoring their highest path of purpose through the heart. Each of you that are star seeds, you came here with a purpose. Now, I want to make this very clear. You have a certain, not all souls, but some souls, depending, especially if you are coming from higher dimensions, you have a set time frame. If you are coming here as a being of light, such as myself, many of those that I work with, you have a time frame. And if you do not fulfill it within that time frame, you will be pulled out. Because that was your sole purpose for being here. Your sole purpose was this contract of new earth ascension. You came here with tools necessary. And if you're not integrating those tools, you'll be pulled out. And someone else will come in. I know this is going to be intense. But remember, if you're a light being, you're just going to go right back up to, Greg, you know what was really cool? I want to share this really quickly. When I was doing my session, when me and Greg were having our session, Greg, you know the Danu Talis that I tapped into, and we were feeling into that, and I told you it felt like it was connected to the inner earth, but it wasn't, like that it was like in and of its own accord somewhere. And so the what I received was in conjunction with that. So Danu Talis is another version of Atlantis, but Danu Talis exists in higher dimensions, and it's a meeting place, as we talked about, for councils. So a lot of souls that are higher dimensional beings, we convene in these councils, right? And these councils are in these egg-shaped orbs. And we move there in the astral and convene in the astral and meet in these places. I say this because if you are here to fulfill a higher purpose, then you are coming from a council such as this, or you're coming from a place of light. You came here, you were given an agreement. Now, this is not for everyone. I want to make this very clear. This is actually not for that many. This is actually for a small amount, because the small that we don't in terms of those that carry the very higher dimensional, like pure light beings, you don't need that many incarnate. But when they come here, we still get stuck under that karma, those layers. So hello and welcome. So I was shown this, except the placement was actually in, it looked like it was in a galaxy of some sort. So what I was shown is that what I was tapping into was an interdimensional aspect of that. So if you're here to fulfill a purpose, I say this because I do not want everyone to take that message and be like, oh my gosh, that's me. Oh my gosh, that's me. Please recognize that super consciousness is speaking right now. Source light is speaking so that those that are meant to receive that message can be activated and begin their path of purpose. Okay. When I talked about us being on the threshold, this is, like I said, this is gathering an energy. There's quite literally going to be a rift that happens. This is why tapping into and anchoring into these higher dimensional timelines is vital right now in this transitory point. Because when the rift happens and the new earth is the new earth, all aspects of the 3D are gonna fall away. So there will be we will no longer need to access that, and they will not have access to us. And this has happened throughout the history of this planet, and it's happening again, but not to this degree. I want to make this very clear. What is happening is very unique to this planet. It's very unique in that there are many souls here that come here from multiple other planes. We know this, multiple other galaxies. And they come here to learn, right? This is a school. And what happens is they get stuck in these cycles and they don't ascend in their timelines. They don't ascend in that upward spiral. Right now, on the precipice of a shift into a completely new earth, it is vital that we assist as many in awakening as we can so that they have an opportunity to step into new earth, right? When I said that the choice must be made, I uphold that. The choice must be made. What super consciousness is wanting everyone to realize is that you can heal your body instantly. Everything that I've spoken into is being reiterated, but with a greater emphasis of you have the power if you believe you have the power. If you believe that somehow, because the thought of you tapping into source light and calling that in and integrating that, if you feel like that must happen instantly, that's instant gratification, right? We have to keep in heart that the process is time and space, right? And this means that you must access, or you must respect and honor the time and space. So calling in source light, speaking, and what we're going to be doing today, and speaking to the mitochondria and rearranging the mitochondria, we're performing instantaneous healing. There are those of us, I know those of us in the second wave of volunteers, what we are is, it's our being here, just our being here. Each wave has a unique specialty, if you will. Those of us in the second wave, just our frequency alone heals people, and it also activates people. That's why I've always been given that term earthbound activators, is because that's That's what we do. That's just what we are. And those that are drawn to us are also going to be tapping into that same ability and that same greater understanding from super consciousness. Again, you have a contract, you have a purpose. And if you're not in belief that that exists, and if you are not believing that you have the power of source flowing through you, because you do, then you deny it. And if you deny it, then you stay in the cycles to some degree. So, right now, the biggest message that is coming through is belief, faith. You and you alone, only you. It doesn't matter how many of us step up and provide activations and provide integrations. If you do not believe that it is possible for you, then you deny your ability to be able to experience it. So if you sit there every single day, like I've guided you guys to do, right? And you focus source light on speaking and feeling into your cells, into the mitochondria, becoming intimate with their response, asking them, what do you need? What can I do to assist? Because they are you. You are them. It is your energy. It has been energy that has been imprinted with layers of, let's say, like in the liver, you hold worry and fear. In the kidneys, you hold worry and fear. In the liver, you hold anger and aggression. This is what blocks you from healing. Any remaining aspects of these beliefs that are held in the organs are going to pile and they're going to calcify and they're going to block. This happens on the bones. This happens on the muscles tissues as well. So anytime you are integrating all of this truth, if you're also not allowing yourself an opportunity to become intimate with what that means for you, then you don't get to really experience the fullness of it. And interestingly enough, those of us that really have the power for such healing, which everyone does, but not everyone is going to tap into that purpose, right? We have so many imprints of trauma and all of this that is carried that we don't sit with it long enough to get that deep. And so we don't really get to understand the capacity at which we hold for miracles. And this is an age of miracles. The human kingdom is evolving through the heart. It is evolving through the faith. It is evolving through the light. It is evolving through leadership of the heart space, the juncture of time and space. So when you lead with the heart, time takes on a different meaning, space takes on a different meaning. And the reason why you receive cryptic messages from super consciousness is because you still have to do the work. You still have to do the work. And a lot of times people don't want to. They say, oh, but I do. But when it comes down to it, are you? That's the question you guys know. You guys that have been with me for a while, you guys know this. Are you? And I've been feeling, what's been happening is source. I want to make this clear really quickly. There are those of us that are here that could have went back into source light, but we chose to incarnate here. And this is some of you guys out there. I want you to realize this. You're tired. You feel tired because you were meant to be on a break. You were meant to be on a break. You were meant to be returning into source light and regaining and rejuvenating your light. But the oversoul has to think about the fractals of light that bounces off of a diamond. We have to become fractalized to incarnate in this space. And that makes us even more tired because it's so dense. I'm so grateful this is resonating, Mina. The reason why these choice points are so powerful and these timelines are so powerful is because when you step into that, you're gaining another fractal of light. You're going into another aspect of complete soul self. And I have people coming to me right now and they're like, I want to know. I want to know all the answers and I want to know what my purpose is. And it's interesting because the way that the answers come through me is it's direct truth, but it's the truth that's needed and necessary right now so that you can go through everything that you need to go through to reach the purpose. A lot of times people can receive their purpose and they have no clue what to do with it. Because between here and there, healing has to happen. Ascension has to happen. They need to move through and out of the cycles. And most want to skip over that part. So and that's okay. I mean, it's always their choice, and it's always about that's for each of you. It's a choice. And not everyone is going to want to do the work. These timelines that are here now are coming in at a higher frequency where, as you guys have heard me say, if you're not at a higher frequency of sovereignty through the heart, it's going to be really difficult for you. This threshold that's building, it's something that I've been working through on, like, what is this going to look like? How is this going to present itself? I was feeling very torn because I was afraid to say what I was seeing because I was like, people are not going to receive that well. But the truth is that there are two worlds that exist right now, and you can have a foot in both worlds. That's the point. But when the shift comes, wherever your foot is at the most is where you will remain. The merge that is happening is the frequencies of 3D that are ascending in vibration are joining in the frequencies that are already accessible through the higher dimensions. And there are souls that are still in cycles of 3D that have not chosen to come out of that. We cannot just lift them into a new dimension, because not only energetically would that just completely disrupt their system, but they would have no clue what was happening. So whatever that cycle means in terms of their fulfillment, that's going to happen. Now, I would guide each of you to tap into your inner channel and ask what that means. I did hear that clarity would be given for those that request it. And what is happening here is happening. It's a most glorious event, because to come out of such density into such light, to return to source, that is an extremely powerful happening. And we have cosmic and universal alignment and ascension along with that. That's why so many starseeds, that's why so many beings of light came here to assist, was because not only were we given an opportunity from the higher councils and from source light, but we recognized, of course, the greater picture. And I want each of you to tap into that as we move into this anchoring. That what is taking place in this realm is reverberating throughout space and time, of course, but it is for the highest good of returning to source light. It is far greater than the picture that you see about your family. It is far greater than the picture that you see about your friends. And it is far greater than the picture that you see about the minute amounts of time that are given to you for connection in this realm. So when you do use those connection points, use them in circles that are going to support the highest good, not the ones that are going to support the mind. You really need to start bringing yourself into circles of ascension. You've had many lifetimes to experience the density, the karma. You've had many lifetimes. And even if you are a pure soul that is here for the first time, this one lifetime is technically all we're supposed to have. The multiple lifetimes are there for those that want to continue learning and gaining ideas for creation, or those that are stuck. So it is not it's interesting because we've thought that the cycles of karma were necessary, but they're not. That just was when souls get trapped and they are trapped from such a high point of light, it reverberates throughout the collective, and so there becomes more greater cycles of karma. And so this cycle, this major collective cycle that's been happening, was a test, and it got a little bit out of control, a little bit out of hand. And so now what we're doing is another, we're back in, and we're reeling that back in, and we're bringing it back to its purpose, and we're also reclaiming it for source light. So everything that is spoken here is spoken from a place of highest truth. It is a recognition for a lot and a greater awareness for some. And this is always just an invitation. It does not mean that you have to take it, and it's not here to elicit fear. If fear comes up, you need to ask why. It's only ever about a choice. If you're afraid of losing something, then remember that's something that you're holding on to from the lower density timelines that's anchored in attachment. That's something I've been going through as well. Like, I know my parents were chosen to fulfill the karmic cycles of experience. I know that there is nothing other than that present in our connection. But I know, like, for Bruiser, it is, right? He's my little starseed, which of course I know he'll be present with me. But I did go through that. Well, what happens? What happens if for some reason their bodies aren't ready? But here's the thing, those within the second wave, you're also guardians, you're protectors, you're shields. So anyone that is in direct contact with you, you are keeping safe. And I just got goosebumps with that. So you're a shield, you're an activator, you're also a shield, you're a protector. This has been your role throughout other incarnations and other places on, let's say, councils. You're a watcher, you're a guardian. And so when you incarnate here, that is fulfilled, right? Yeah. So you are a shield. This is why those that you have in your direct vicinity will affect you so if they're not aligned, because the power of your presence is at such a high vibration that if they are not high enough, they will drain you. Now, of course, we know that with familial dynamics, that is set up through agreement, right? That's set up through agreement. But that's set up so that you can shield them for the remainder of this journey, because they have provided a great purpose for you, especially if you're a pure soul, especially if this is your first incarnation, especially if you are second wave. I know that's me. I have only been present here in Golden Timeline Reclamation. The memories that I have are imprints of memories. They're not really mine. They were given to me by others that had incarnated here. Another recognition that some of you might carry those imprints. And I actually spoke into this. I didn't quite have the clarity on it that I do now, but I remember speaking into it, I think last summer, that you might be carrying karma that is not yours. And that's what that was. I was having to work my way into the clarity of it, but now I have that recognition. Yeah, so you're a shield. I love that you guys felt that resonance. You are a protector, you are a shield, you are an activator, you are a guardian. Now, every purpose is a divine purpose when you are fulfilling it through the heart. Having a recognition of your purpose will help you to fulfill that. For me, what I'm hearing, like what keeps coming through, and you guys, I've said this so many times, but it's being reiterated right now. It does not matter about the past lives. It does, but it doesn't. Because everything is being rewritten. The only aspect of past life that is necessary and needed is the tools that you are able to access from your incarnate lifetimes fulfilling the highest light. So all of those that are in the karmic cycles, they don't matter. You don't need to access them because the Akashic is being rewritten for this planet anyways. The libraries, of course, are still accessible for 3D, but we're writing the Akasha now of 5D. So when you are accessing 5D, you don't need access to 3D Akasha. And so right now, The greatest aspect that can be fulfilled is the now moment and everything that comes in the now moment. You are receiving everything you need right now. And this is mostly for those that are just beginning to step onto this path, that are really wanting to know, what am I supposed to do? The biggest message here from super consciousness is open your heart. Without that, the ability to step into new earth is not possible. You will find your purpose through the activations of your DNA gene code within the light. And of course, this is something that's always been stated, it's being reiterated. I know everyone wants that title, and that title does help when you're ready for it. The purpose is there for you to step into it, not for you to just grab it and then try to force it to happen. And I feel like that's where most are going to go. And so if anyone is receiving this that has got some sessions coming up with me, recognize that that's how super consciousness is going to speak. That's how source is going to speak. It's going to be in what is most necessary and needed for you now, because all that matters is right now. And if that means an activation, then that means an activation. If it means truth, then that means truth. Whatever is necessary for the highest purpose will be brought forth in the now. So all of this is a prelude. You can think of it as a foundation to step into this timeline anchoring. So what I am feeling and what I am receiving is that I know this is majority for those in my group space, because I am anchoring this for the group space, which is going to inadvertently pull each of you into that higher timeline if you're not there already. Therefore, and I was being guided to offer it publicly, so I'm also recognizing that this is going to be a collective reverberation. So those within my soul pod, I am being asked for each of you, when you join with me, I'm starting to get overloaded with the energy for the collective. So when you join with me, I would like for you to join in conjunction with me. And I would like for you to, we're gonna work together in bringing this forth for the collective. Is everyone in agreement? Is everyone okay with that? That's present here. Mina, Becca, Greg. We are going to be weaving. Okay, we are going to be weaving this timeline. And I need those that are able to tap into that to assist. There is a lot of energy here. Now, I want to just take on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the greatest. How tuned and tapped into this do you guys feel right now? And full transparency, because I will turn it up for everyone. Beautiful. Thank you. I'll be bringing you guys into, we're going to be joining together energetically. Okay, beautiful. Okay. Okay, everyone. Let's go ahead and get ready. I'm going to see where my battery is at. Okay. If you guys feel like you need crystals, please go ahead and grab them. And you can use the crystals as a grid if you would like. I'm being invited to pass that along. I'm going to call in. You can also call in crystals from the 5D etheric. That's what I like doing. So I call in clear quartz to create a spherical grid space and to create an upward spiral from Earth star to soul star, and then opening and expanding that. Beautiful. Thank you. Now, what we're going to do, everyone, is when you have your crystals, go ahead and get them placed. If that's what you want, you don't have to. Now, I've yet to do something at this capacity, especially while offering it. So I'm going to go a little bit higher into dimensional framework. And I want to ask for an open, clear channel to source, calling down white diamond light. Now, I would like for each of you that are joining with me, I would like for you to call in the white diamond light of source. This is going to flow down over your crown and it's going to wash over you. Let's go ahead and call in that energy. And I would like for you to hand over your mind to super consciousness. So you can say, I now choose to step into the heart and release the mind to super consciousness. Beautiful. I felt that shift. Honoring that you are energetically opened, activated, and aligned to the highest source light, and that you are fulfilling this for the highest good of all and the harm of none. Now, we must recognize, of course, that not everyone that steps into this transmission is going to be ready for this shift, but those that are drawn to it, that receive it, it is time. This is also going to provide a call. It's what I'm seeing is it's a pool of light that is moving outwards from this transmission, and it is touching the collective, and then it is coming back. So I would like for you to go ahead and tune into that reverb, that reverberation of light. This is that white diamond light. As soon as it hits the heart, it reverberates outwards, and then it flows back. Kuya shukuyanai uru ina kuna kuya sukutaya shukutoroni kuya kutaya shukutoroni akuya shukutai anai. All right, I'm going to call upon now our earth guides, those in the interdimensional planes, outer dimensional planes, galactic guardians, universal guardians. I'm also going to call in the children of purity. Okay. Going to ask these energies to come in and oversee and assist us in the building of this collective timeline. This is going to give more souls an opportunity to access the light. Okay, I'm going to ask Earth Mothers and Earth Fathers to oversee so below and pulling that energy down. I'm going to ask Star Mothers and Dragon Mothers to oversee the as above, pulling that upwards. Let's go ahead and start moving into the heart. So go ahead and drop down into your body. And I want you to feel your light in the central point of your body. Darukushadadunum Kitia Kodaya Shukotodunum Kia Kodaya Shuktadunum. Now, as you are focused on this, I would like for you to drop a little further in. Nashukuyada Shikiada no Makuya, Zututusha Dani Kuya Sokutaya Shutu. Marukuchaya Kataya no Makutaya Shukutaya no. Now I'm going to call each soul that is joining with me, joining with your higher self. So call in your higher self now. I'm going to call in my monad. We are going to beautiful connection, everyone. Okay, if everyone can let me know in the chat from 1 to 10 where you are energetically. This will be the final time I'm going to ask, and we'll be fully present. Shadochushine Kuyasake Toshanana Mukuyara Inakuru I Shakona. Thank you, Greg. Shadokutaya no Makuya Kuya 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 Kuru Iya. Becca, I would like for you to drop into your heart a little bit more. Take a deep breath. And on the exhale, allow yourself to surrender to the vibration, just the energy. Without expectation, just become the light. You are not a body. You are a being of vibration. You are more. Feel yourself as more. Allow the light to consume you and fill you up. And you must believe that this is true and possible. If there is any doubt that you hold, let it go. Free yourself from the darkness. I feel so many openings happening. Okay, everyone. I felt some pretty good openings there. I want you to feel your higher self coming down and anchoring in the heart. And I'm feeling energetically the same energies that came through yesterday, or no, 2 days ago. I'm going to call now and acknowledge the Dragon Elohim, the Seraphim, and the Hathor and Magdalena emissaries of light. These energies are working with us as one, and they are working through us. So feel yourself connecting into these energies. Feel these energies as they flow through your central channel. Hare kia koya shanai otoru kia kura shatayano. Nashakai otoro I kuyara shatayanai. Kureshikia nai onai onai. Orusha namakore shukodayanai okoya koya. Sharakotaya namaru I jatai. I jatai. Soru I kura. Nashukumara. Beautiful. Now, as we move into the chambers of the heart, we're actually going to go through the portal, the gateway. I would like for you to move through this however it feels most comfortable for you. Once we move through that gateway, We are going to be met by the 7 Hathors, and they are going to be working with us and weaving this timeline. Remember, use your hands, use the spoken light, whatever is most aligned for you, and use your intuition. There is no right or wrong. They are showing me it's going to be like building a bridge, if that's going to help you envision. And this timeline is a gateway. There are souls that are ready to transition, and we are building this support system to assist them. So I'd like for you to see the dial on the front of your heart and go ahead and dial in. And I would like for you to see the gateway. And I'm going to ask Mary Magdalena to join with each of you and to follow. You're going to guide. She's going to guide you. I want you to follow her energy through the portal. And let's go. We are moving into a crystalline chamber. This crystalline chamber is very large. There's no way to see the end of it, but there are tools here. There is all manner of light, many vibrations, many colors. And although it's not physical, you could walk through it. When you go to grab it, you can actually grasp it. And I want you to see where these tables are, all of the materials that is necessary, and don't let it overwhelm you. You're going to be drawn to whatever materials is necessary for you. I'm feeling that we're going to be majorly using vibrations of sound, specific colors of light, which carry coding. You're going to be drawn to whichever colors you're meant to work with. And a wand, our 5D etheric wand. The wand is for sealing. It is also for when you lay a layer of light down, you would seal it with the wand, and then lay a layer of light down and seal it with the wand. Or even if you go to braid or entwine light, when you get done, seal it with the wand. Now, do not let the portal or going through the portal throw you off. I want you to recognize that you are in this chamber. You are energetically present. So allow yourself to acknowledge that. And allow whatever colors come to you to go ahead and allow yourself to move to those. And I'm hearing to pick 2 colors. I'm working with gold and white, and I'm going to be weaving. And we are also being joined by Archangel Michael. So I would like for you to go ahead and feel that energetic presence. Going to open up the higher part of the channel to allow greater capacity of receivership. All right. I want everyone to become aware that we are joining together in unity consciousness. So grateful to join with you guys in unity consciousness. And we are going to play and create. We are creators. So begin creating and weaving the bridge. And just recognize that as each one of us are weaving and creating, it is merging into together. It's merging into one. So you can create the whole bridge in a few moments, actually, just by what you imagine and how you speak, the tonality of your vibration, and the weaving of the hands, the movement. So let us join together. Ndoro shokuya tayanai kuya sotoriki karatai shanai kori 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 koraki kararani nonoma kuya riri korariri tarariri wori kuya ari kuya ari kuya noro kui u shi naira wori shik aena iya tarushana muri iuri Narushukutai nai oruki atorati. Narakutia shakataya no makoya sikiatia. Shotor ina udi shukutai. Nakuya sikia kotoro shikiatia no makatia sikitia tororin kuya siatia tia 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 ti. Shoo. 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 Just going to take my magic wand. And just allow yourself to do whatever movements feel most natural. You are being guided. I'm going to open up the portal of the heart. Let it be known that we are clearing timelines of hierarchy, falsity, karmic cycles, degradation, deprivation, disharmony, shadow. Although we would like to acknowledge that the shadow is a necessary part of the light. However, the shadow has served its purpose in this regard, and we are letting it go. We are alleviating by bringing the vibrations of worry, doubt, guilt, and dissonance into a higher vibrational architecture, so that although we do not rid these for the collective, we do allow them easier access to transcending. For those that are ready, for those that were having a difficult time accessing their next highest timeline of light, this is providing the gateway. Goro shokotaya no makodeya kodaya shokotoroni kodeya kodaya shokodo. Ina koseyo kodaya shokotorini kodeya kodeya kodaya shokotara no makodeya kodaya. Oro kodeya kodaya kodeya kodara no makodeya kodaya kodeya kodaya. Now take a moment. I'm feeling the energy build. Let's take a few deep breaths. I want you to go ahead and start putting the final touches on this. In the latter part of this, we are going to be speaking the encoded reconstruction of the mitochondria. Naeshukuria kunambori kundairo kunaeshuti ku ariyoku ariyoku runurukute shukutore rumaku a shaku a shaku a shaku a yep nur inaru yep yep whoop whoop maru maru maru. Beautiful, everyone. Okay, let's go ahead and take our wands and let's go ahead and begin sealing. Remember, when we were in the heart, it's beyond time. So everything is instant. As soon as you think it, as soon as you receive it, it is done. Shakodaya numa shokui aru anai shokuya. Please make sure that you make an audible noise when you are sealing and using your crystal wand. Beautiful. And when you are ready, please repeat after me. This timeline is finalized in the name of Source Light. We are complete, and so it is. Beautiful. Let us go ahead. We are going to hand this timeline over to Gaia. So I would like for you to feel your energetic roots connected in through the heart, going all the way down through the Earth Star chakra, feeling those roots. And you guys know we've been to the central cavern of Gaia. We know what this looks like. We know what it feels like. I would like for you to recognize that she is perfectly aware and grateful for the receivership. So I would like for you to take this timeline and hand it over to Gaia. Allowing it to integrate on behalf of the collective and allowing her to oversee that integration. And again, we are complete, and so it is. Thank you. Shakura Shiana. Beautiful work. Beautiful work, everyone. That felt really amazing. I know on my end it did. I hope it did on your end. And to finalize this in preparation, we are going to speak coding to the mitochondria. We are going to tap into this white diamond light. And I want you to place a hand on wherever in your body you feel you are most needing to anchor this light. For what we speak reverberates throughout space and time. I'm going to ask now that your oversoul join with you energetically to guide and assist. Your oversoul is directly linked to source, as all aspects of you are, but this is your most direct connection. Beautiful. We speak now as the collective of Source Light to honor the integration and healing, recognizing the sovereignty and the sacredness of this gathering. We ask you now to become aware that underneath the hands that you have placed on your vessel is light emanating, light penetrating, light permeating. Allow yourself to immerse in this waterfall of white diamond light. It is streaming from you It is streaming through you. Wherever you are most focused, let's say the hands, you have a direct awareness, a direct connection in the direction of this light. And we are going to just anchor you a little bit more into the golden circle. You are now in a pod of healing. And we would like for you to speak to your mitochondria, to recognize their consciousness, their awareness, to recognize that there are so many aspects contained within the mitochondria that are still encoded with fear. Sometimes this fear is carried over even from cosmic timelines. Because maybe you felt like that you were not going to be able to fulfill a cosmic purpose. Perhaps there was a choice that was made in a cosmic timeline that did not fulfill your highest agreement. And you are carrying the fear of failure in your DNA. We would like for you to recognize you have nothing to be afraid. You have nothing to fear. You are light. You are creator. You are the embodiment of creation. We would like for you to see your mitochondria. These little balls of light, of energy, of functionality. Each one of you recognizes you, just as you recognize each one. They are looking to you now like little children, wanting reassurance and wanting to know that it is okay for them to step into their highest purpose. We would like for you to see the inpouring and the outpouring of white diamond light into the organs, into the cells. And we would like for you to see that they are also light, reflecting the light back to you. And we would like for you to speak the truth of healing. Tell your mitochondria that they are strong, that they are pure, that they are light-filled, that they are love-filled, that they are ready for their next adventure, that they are ready for their highest path of purpose, that they are ready for their divinity, for they are, and you are. Feel as the light is flowing to the exact area where it is most needed. And we would invite you to do this daily. This is a process. But for those of you that are already encoded with activated light, the process will be a lot shorter. We would like for you now to speak the codes that come, to speak directly to the mitochondria, to remind them of the activation of light, and to do this infused within the white diamond light of source. We would like for Feel as they respond, as they squeal with delight at the receivership of their highest truth. Recognize that there is purification in process. We would invite you again to do this daily, as even if you have reached timelines of greater crystalline greater crystalline clarity, there is still a world of 3D that is being absorbed through you. You are a magnet of light. And those that are not necessarily holding and upholding the light, their energy will be drawn to you. This is where you must draw your lines. Nashukuru ira umaru. And we recognize that many of you are feeling pained at this. There is something held within your DNA that is afraid that if you let go, there will be nothing left. Again, we must remind you, you are never alone. You have never been alone. Those that are assisting you on the high councils, those of your galactic and cosmic family, they are always with you. You are so used to looking to the 3D for comfort that you have forgotten the unseen. The unseen is always with you, always supporting you, always loving you, and always guiding you. We ask you now, look to the unseen. And what is seen will transform. Once again, let's direct another beam of light to any other areas of the body. We are being guided to inform those in the feminine vessel, to focus on the womb, to focus on the ovaries, and also those in a masculine form that are carrying cosmic wounding in the womb space. Let us send source light. Let us purify, and let's call for the reconstruction of higher DNA coding and higher DNA sequencing, speaking the truth and the love that it is safe, that we are safe, that it is light because we are light, that there is nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear. Now feel the release into the light, pulling the hands away, turning the hands upward, returning to sender, returning to source. Duru sharu maru ikuyaru, marush katay numaku, ikayatura chukada. Shanayo kuyara shukurayoko, kaitaya kumaku aku a, shaku a, shaku a. We lift our hands in gratitude. We lift our hands in surrender. We lift our hands in release, and we come together to give thanks for this healing. Bringing hands to heart center, bowing in gratitude, acknowledging the release. Thank you. We are complete, and so it is. Beautiful, 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 beloved souls. Let us go ahead and begin to move out of the heart, at least out of the portal. We are going to remain in the heart, but out of the portal. I would like for you to go ahead and return any tools that were borrowed. We are going to leave our wands here in the 5D etheric. It is time to give our vessels the time and space necessary and needed. There is a recoding in process, a recalibration in process. The Kundalini is rising, rising, rising again and again, clearing, and there is much coming out of the womb. This is the imprinted womb. The imprinted womb, the false womb, is being released so that the cosmic, eternal womb may be born. Go ahead and join with the 7 Hathors once again and Mary Magdalena. And let us move back through the gateway. When you are ready. And let's go. Shoruniya kuru aru. Laro shakatayanuma ura shukuya. Settling back into the heart, the outer chamber of the heart. Giving your energy time to calibrate and acclimate. And go ahead and start when you're ready, turning the dial down. Coming back into your center point of gravity. Turning it down, turning it down. Okay. And when you are ready, there's a lot flowing through right now. I can definitely tell that we are anchored into our new timeline. I don't know if you guys can feel it, but my feet feel stuck. They feel glued to the ground, literally. Like I'm being pulled down, pulled down, pulled down. So what I'm being shown, what was just happening prior to now, is we were being pulled up energetically so that we could align to the timeline, and then we were anchored. And I would like for each of you to just kind of come back, rub your hands together, pat your arms, pat your legs, just kind of reconnect. Whew. I'm still feeling it pretty intensely. Then I'm going to go ahead and just disconnect our energies so that we are all individually back into our own space and our own energy. And just let me know. It was just 11313. And you guys heard me say earlier in the chat that the new video I'm uploading is 13311. Beautiful. When you guys are able to, or you feel aligned to speak, just let me know in the comments how you're doing. Marushatuna kuash. Yishana urashana ina shana urashana ina. Sorry, you guys. I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. I didn't mean to leave the live. I saw where JJ had left a comment on something, and I'm trying to connect. I can't talk right now. I can't talk. I'm just not even going to try. Wasn't it though? That was incredible. That was incredible. And I just heard that was a taste of what will be happening in our Zoom session. So this is why I see now energetically that I've been moving through all of this to hold with, and each of you as well, so that we could have a capacity to do this. And Greg, I see now why we were guided to do this before yours, simply just due to needing to bring this forward. So everything always in divine alignment, right? Even though it makes me completely uncomfortable to have to, like, those that have been with me for a while know that I'm not big on scheduling, just because I am always energetically dropped. Like when they're like, it's time, I never know. I live so in the now that I'm having to really go outside of my comfort zone to go back into scheduling, which is necessary, right? It's very necessary. So thank you, thank you for being so loving and supportive, as that is happening, because I just yeah, I don't do well with scheduling. So and it's interesting because as I've been scheduling one-on-ones, when I even those that are in these communities with us, not all of them are ready to receive, like, their purpose is here, but they're not the truth that is necessary for them to receive in the fulfillment of that purpose. They have a very difficult time. You guys know, because you've been with me for long enough, that is the one thing I will always speak the truth. If you are operating from within the mind, which is why you're not able to receive the truth of your purpose, it doesn't matter who all brings that in. It doesn't matter which channelers or guides bring that in. You can receive all of the wisdom and all of the truth, but if you are not living in your sovereignty, then that is just simply going to be words for you. And I've, it's very interesting because even stepping into this now, I've realized that those that I'm doing one-on-ones with, like, everyone has to be in their highest vibration of sovereignty, or it just will not be doable. And it's necessary. It's necessary. I don't know how to offer, like, I'm sure many of you, same thing. I don't know how to offer except for from the highest truth. So, and sometimes that truth is a truth that needs to be heard, like, okay, well, this is what's taking place, this is the steps that need to happen, and this needs to happen before this. You're trying to walk before you crawl. You're trying to jump into the fulfillment of a cosmic level purpose, and you have yet to balance, harmonize, and master the human. And that's it's a necessity. So thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. This was magical, this was beautiful. I am very interested. Absolutely, Greg, and thank you. I love you guys so much. I'm very interested to see how what the collective response is to this. You guys know, every time I've spoken about that, what is it like right after we see something, solar flares or people speaking into it saying, this is what's happening right now, this is the energy right now, and it's the exact thing that we anchored, like it's a reflection, it's coming through. Yes, so grateful, so grateful. And just so you guys know, for the healing, as stated, it has to be a daily thing. This is something you need to sit with daily. There are imprints of information that are layered in your organs, in your bones, in your blood, and these imprints have to be lifted, and you have to recode the how they're going to respond. And so if you're not speaking love, you're just expecting it, right? Then they're just going based on the information they have. And the activations provide the gateway to that always. But you are the creator. You are the truth speaker. That's what the Hathors are here assisting with, is speaking your truth. They work within the throat chakra. They work within that ray. They are a seventh ray. Well, they're anywhere from, they're seventh ray, from fifth ray to seventh ray. But right now they're coming in from seventh ray to open that up, fifth ray. So so is the Magdalena energy. And so all of this is happening very purposely. You see how we do it one step at a time to fulfill. So it's so beautiful. So I feel amazing. I do feel a lot better. No, it's coding. It's just specific coding of purification, but it would go beautifully with the speaking into the mitochondria. This is something that super consciousness source is, it's your responsibility to not only do this, but to tap into it, use your intuition exactly like we just did here, and trust and believe that you can do it. That's necessary. I will be bringing a video forth soon that will be focused on that. Absolutely. It's not here yet. So in the meantime, have faith in your power to do it because you can. You just did. And like I said, think of they're like your little children. They're like little children. They're looking to you, wanting to know that they're okay. Because anything that you bring in is imprinted. That's what your DNA. It's a systematic uh, set of information. And so everything that's trapped in there that was encoded for the 3D that is no longer needed and necessary, you have to do a cleanup job. You have to go in, you have to clean up, you have to do the work. Um, and that's and I really I can tell that there's going to be a lot more of these higher consciousness integrations brought forth. I know that's why my vessel was accommodating. Um, and I finally, just on a personal level, you guys know I've never really felt. I've always, even in terms of spiritual circles, I've always felt different as a higher consciousness walk in. I didn't know what that meant. I mean, I did, but I didn't. And I understand a bit more now. I do know that the reason why my memories didn't, I don't have access. Like I do, but I don't. I have access to certain aspects of memories, but like there's like segments. It's like tapping into a library, and they're not. It doesn't really feel connected to me, but I know it's there. Like I know it happened, but it doesn't feel like it happened, and I know why. It's because they're imprinted. Yes, you do know what you were doing, Becca. This is again, this is where you are learning to, that's why the message was so intense around belief. You must believe in yourself. You're not, it's not going to feel natural to the mind, but to the soul, it's going to be, you're just playing, you're having fun. A child doesn't go to build a sandcastle needing a set of instructions. That's what I'm hearing. That's what super consciousness wants you to know. A child goes to build a sandcastle based on what is fun, how it wants it. Like it might not even look like a castle, but it doesn't matter. No, they're not only imprinted for walk-ins. They're imprinted for pure souls that have never had an incarnation in here. Or if the cycle of space and time was so great, like 10,000 years, 5,000 years, then the imprints are there to fill in those gaps in time. Beautiful, Mina. Exactly. I want you to know that the reason why on the picture, and Greg, I'm going to go back to that. The reason why on the picture is because you were creating the picture. You were creating it. As a soul, we come here to learn things like this. So when we go back to other planets and other solar systems and other cosmic and galaxies and these dimensions, we have an opportunity to tap into imagination here. That's very unique. That's why souls incarnate here, is to learn. But how do you learn if you're afraid? If you feel like somebody has to tell you, then you're not tapping into your primal power of creation. That's why it's about having fun. Tune into everything like a child would. Like, how can I have fun with this? What would you imagine? I remember I used to run around imagining that I was riding a unicorn all the time. I had a pet unicorn when I was little, which makes total sense, since makes total sense. And I would carry rocks in a purse, and I had named them. And I used to tell my parents, this is what they told me. I don't remember a lot of this, but they told me that when I would be given my vitamins, and they would say, "What happened to your vitamins?" And I would say, "The aliens took them." And I was very serious about it. I was communicating with aliens from a young age, but that's also shielded from my memory so that I could have the traumatic experiences through the imprints. Of course, you can listen to it again, Becca, but just trust and know that everything still unfolded. Your oversoul was also overseeing. So even if your human self felt like it wasn't connected, you very much were. I felt you there energetically. But you're welcome to watch it again. But I just want you to have faith. Have faith. And so those of us that are pure souls, or those of us that have only come here as archetypes, So as archetypes, pure souls are, like I said, have very had very limited incarnations here, or this is their first incarnation. You are imprinted with memories that other souls have had so that you can experience Earth. Your family was specifically chosen by you. Usually, your name was chosen by you so that you could fulfill that contract. This is why I stepped into Ayahuasca, and people will ask me what my government name is, and I don't speak it anymore. It's not vibrationally aligned. So you are carrying information that is imprinted, but you're also carrying information that is yours from other galaxies. And sometimes those are that's information that can still be based in fear. Now, of course, we know fear isn't real. It's what we perceive it to be. Even our fear of failing on a purpose that is divine can be imprinted, and it can show up in manifested form in this lifetime. So there's so many factors here. I would invite you to tap into your oversoul, your higher self, your monad, your monad, and see what comes through for you. If you ask super consciousness for clarity, you will receive it. You must believe it and have faith. No, I believe, yes, I truly believe that it is a done deal. I mean, if I was, that's why I was saying, Becca, like it was done. You don't have to go back and do it in order to do it. If you just want to experience the energy, that's great. But you don't have to. No. Everything was done. So yes. Yes, beautiful, Mina. Beautiful. And so I want you guys to approach this from now on like we're building sandcastles. We don't need instructions. We are receiving everything in every now moment. And if the image is not there, then create the image. Use your power as a creator. And, you know, that's actually for me, I don't receive images a lot. I don't. I just know what it is. I just know. It's a knowing beyond a visual. It's just a presence, an awareness, a feeling, and an understanding. And I trust that. And because I've trusted that, I get to experience it as it unfolds. I just go. Like you said, don't give a shit. Just do it. You don't need to have a clear picture all the time. The picture is your vessel. Like what you do and how it flows through you, that's your image. So thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Greg, I am looking forward to us finally being able to catch up in that session. Thank you. Today was fantastic. And I've noticed, just as a side note here as we wrap this up, you know, I've noticed that it's a bit difficult for me to take in, like, especially since I've returned to social media. I've had a lot of people that are wanting, you know, that I need to connect with, that are wanting to connect, and I love the connection. But I've also realized how overwhelming it is, and also that that's a part of this training. And so as we're moving through this, each of you are going to be presented with different levels of training. If you're not yet in an off, like if you're not yet stepping into an offering within the collective, I would say stay away from social media until you get ready to start putting yourself out there to offer in order to receive your offering through them and to receive their offering of you through you. Try to stay away from social media. That's what I did for the last 6 months, basically. And detox. Because when you come back online, when you start to put yourself more out there from the energy that you're at, you're going to have a magnetism. And you need to be able to sustain that. That's one thing I'm realizing, especially going back into one-on-ones. It's really intense. It's also necessary. And I'm grateful that I took that time away so that I could recognize when I needed to give a little bit more, when I need to give a little bit less. Because if you're always consuming, you don't have a point of reference. And right now, as we are going through this next, I really feel like we're in the midst of a new wave. Like we have waves of volunteers, but we also have waves like I was talking about. And there's about to be a major wave that is coming from the integration of today. It's been building and now it's flowing over. Um, I think that's all I've got. I think that's all I've got. So I've still got to get the video mastered. I think I'm actually going to record it, the video for the little star seeds. There's so much more here that I want to add to that. So I'm just going to redo that, and I will have that one and the mitochondria video out soon. I'm just taking it slow and easy because I want to see how this collective wave is going to feel. Like I don't feel like it's going to be overwhelming for us at all because we just integrated it, right? But I want every one of you to be aware that we're going to feel something. So it's a wave. Okay? So just allow yourself time and space for however that's going to show up for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so proud of you guys. I love you so much. I know for those of you, I know Becca, I know, when you're learning to have that faith in yourself, it's a continual process. That's why we were invited to do this daily in terms of like the mitochondria and the healing, because then you regain faith in yourself because you can see and feel and experience the byproduct of your own power when you are tapping into the highest power of you, which is source. So if you don't do that though, then you're just always left wondering if it's possible, and then you stay in fear that it might not be. You don't know until you try. And there is nothing bad that's going to come from trying this, only good. So I love you all so very, very much. And as always, I'm being guided to say, I leave you all in the love and the light of our one true infinite creator. And I hold you in the love and the light of our one true infinite creator. Thank you for joining in this circle. Thank you for joining in this integration. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next live. I look forward to seeing you guys in Zoom. I'll see you guys Sunday, and I'll catch up with you on WhatsApp. And I love you. Until next time, Adonai.